Okay, mere polls going positive for Trump. I don't think we can overanalyze that. That's not really what I'm looking at. Not just that they're positive for him, but really that they're about the 5 swing states and why when it's being reported on as positive by CNN and the New York Times. That is, people normally completely hostile to Trump can't find any good news. And they end up flushing out another interesting factoid, which is that minorities fleeing from Biden going to Trump. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. Let's take a look first at this article over at the New York Times. This is going to go into Trump tweets. We have CNN clips. This is going to have some JD Vance stuff.
Look, these Sunbelt battleground states, frankly, for the Joe Biden campaign, these numbers are an absolute disaster.
So here's Trump leads in 5 key states as young and non-white voters express discontent with Biden. Now, remember, the young usually go Democrat. They're the soft-hearted, mushy-headed liberals. And non-white voters of all ages express discontent with Biden. But guess what? Guess where it's really coming back to Biden? With the Jews. Good. A new set of Times Siena polls, which always lean left, including one with the Philadelphia Inquirer, reveal an erosion of support for the president among young and non-white voters upset about the economy and Gaza. So this is the big one where Biden is really, the president is misplaying Gaza so bad. He's taking the side of the protesters in our universities, and students are just watching these rich white kids dressed up in head dressing and going, you're on the wrong side of this one, Biden.
Smallest lead is in Arizona for Donald Trump. He's up 6. Look at this, 9 in Georgia, 13 in Nevada. My goodness gracious, my God. That is a huge lead. No Democrat has lost that state since John Kerry lost it back in 2004.
So here's the actual graphic for the poll. The New York Times, Philadelphia Inquirer, Siena College poll, normally leaning left. This shows, let's see, the only state at the very top where Trump's doing worse than Biden is Wisconsin. That's probably because of Milwaukee out there. Trump has 45 within 2 points, Biden 47. Most important one on this whole list really is Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, there is no path for either candidate without Pennsylvania. So if Biden can manage to get Pennsylvania, it puts a lot of trouble on Trump. Trump gets Pennsylvania, I don't see how Biden wins. And here, Pennsylvania is showing Biden with 44%, Trump with 47%. The rest of these are just Biden getting plastered. Arizona, Trump ahead by 7 points, 49-42. Michigan, 49-42, same as Arizona. Michigan, Detroit, really? Is becoming Trump country? There's Georgia, 49-39, whopping 10 points, way beyond the margin of error. That's clearing it. And Nevada, 50-38%. Goodness, even the mafia down in Nevada is going for Trump. Here's a great Trump. I just thought I'd take a little break for a second to show you what Trump is tweeting about. There's Donald Trump. Canada, this is Roberta's Trump posted a picture of Whoopi Goldberg. I'm moving to Canada for sure this time. And Trump wrote, Canada doesn't want you, Whoopi. Nobody does, in all caps. Just so you guys know that I'm not the only one covering The View. So is Trump himself. Here's the rest of the New York Times. Donald Trump leads President Biden in 5 crucial battleground states. A new set of polls shows as a yearning for change and discontent over the economy and the war in Gaza among young, Black, and Hispanic voters threaten to unravel the president's Democratic coalition. Oh, yeah. We love hearing that news, guys. Biden is cratering. It's getting worse. Here's CNN about to go catatonic over the news.
About something that Donald Trump said
Sure.
on social media. He said, what Biden is doing with respect to Israel is disgraceful. If any Jewish person voted for Joe Biden, they should be ashamed of themselves.
That's Trump on social media now, shaming the Jews. And CNN is going, you went too far. You can't do that. But we know that Biden has a worse history of shaming minorities.
He's totally abandoned Israel. You tweeted that Donald Trump was right about that. So I just want to be clear. You think that Jewish people who voted for Joe Biden should be ashamed of themselves?
But if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
I think Trump's was downright elegant. He can actually make a positive case to the Jews. Jews, what are you doing? If you're voting for this guy, you're going to get more of the same in Gaza, including undermining Bibi Netanyahu and defunding your side in that battle. Meanwhile, Biden went to the blacks on that Charlemagne show and said, if you vote for, if you don't know the difference between me and Trump, then you ain't black, implying that blacks would do better under Biden. But across all fronts, blacks are doing worse under Biden.
So this is among likely voters in all these battleground states we just spoke about. Back in 2020, 84% of the Trump campaigns, the Trump coalition was white. Look where it is now. It's 78%. The non-white portion of the Trump coalition, it was 13% in 2020. Look at this now. It's 19%. So the Trump coalition is becoming more diverse.
So Trump could actually go and say the same to Biden. I mean, to blacks, say, if you vote for Biden, why were you so upset with low unemployment for blacks under the Trump presidency? And then now black unemployment is skyrocketing under Biden.
Well, what I think, Dana, is that people should look at the record here and recognize that Donald Trump has actually been really good for the state of Israel. We had peace and prosperity in our country, and we had a very stalwart ally of the Israelis. Now, Joe Biden is president. The Israelis have been attacked.
J.D. Vance doing a great job, still trying out for vice president, but just telling the Jews, look what happened to Israel. Look what happened to you guys. And you know, CNN saying, like, isn't it kind of racist to tie the Jews to Israel? You could make the case here in America. Do Jews feel more safe in America under Biden than under Trump? How's your game on the street looking out in Brooklyn, out in New York, out in Michigan, out on college campuses? How do Jews feel? They feel terrified. So this isn't even about the nation of Israel.
You've got these terrible campus protests with a lot of anti-Semitic overtones all over our country. And you also have him trying to micromanage the Israeli response to them being attacked.
Yeah, this kind of anti-Jewish sentiment blew up under Biden. Biden needs to take responsibility. Of course, they won't. They're going to blame it on Trump somehow, magically, even though they claimed all of these massive mean white groups were under Trump and on the rise under him. Remember, that's Biden said, like, the number one concern in America. Dude, go to the liberals on our campuses working at Google. Go look at them. There's like 300 people in Charlotte were marching with those tiki torches. Half of them were probably FBI agents. No one's ever heard of them. No one sees them. Go look at our campuses. They're burning buildings down and breaking into them.
Do I think it's reasonable to look at this situation and say that if you're a Jewish American who cares about the state of Israel, who cares about these anti-Semitic riots, and say you should be on the side of Republicans in 2024 because they governed effectively on some of the issues that you care about? I think it's a totally reasonable argument to make.
Absolutely. This is for normal people having self-preservation. You know, if you're in a family and if you're a Christian and you want normal self-preservation, if you're the elderly and you want to protect your retirement, you're crazy to vote for Democrats. Here's the final paragraph of that New York Times article. The surveys by the New York Times, Siena College, and the Philadelphia Inquirer found that Mr. Trump was ahead among registered voters in a head-to-head matchup against Mr. Biden in 5 of 6 key states. That's Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, Pennsylvania. Mr. Biden led among registered voters in only one battleground state, Wisconsin, which proves that entire state is still brain dead. I'm Doug in Exile.